Hello fellow gamers, this is the first video on my channel, and I'll be playing a few mods that Asian Half Squat has put together that turn Minecraft into an alien planet survival game. Full credit for this video idea goes to Asian Half Squat, and I'll leave a link to his video on this in the description. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So, I spawned into the world, looked around, and took a screenshot of my coordinates. I then collected some pink berries that looked slightly edible, and I ran around a bit. I got some more berries and stared at the end stone, which reminded me I actually needed to get some basic things in order to survive. I then punched a tree and made a wooden pickaxe. I started mining some pink stone, which I could craft a lot of stone tools with in the future. I mined some more pink stone and made another pickaxe. I then mined some more stone because why not? I then saw a blue glowy thing atop the pink treetops. I ignored it for now and kept mining stone. I then did something a bit stupid. Then, using my massive muscles, I fought this Enderman, and sadly, I became dead. But as they say, 6 times is the charm, and using my bare hands, I pummeled this Enderman, and I actually got a pearl, which was pretty good. So, next, I made an axe and a shovel, and took some of the strange-looking wood. And then I finally made a sword, and felt powerful. I proceeded to go to the blue mushroom biome to look for an end city. It was pretty cool. I also found some blocks that I could insta-mine, so I stole some of those, and also got some new light source blocks, which looked pretty cool. I then continued the search for an end city and saw this weird broken end ship thing across the way, and so I decided to make my way towards it. So I did some pillaring and was pretty disappointed when I found out that the chests inside of the end ship were actually empty. So to ease my pain, I went outside and took the dragon head. I put it on and then marveled at how handsome I am. Then, while in awe of my magnificence, I spotted an end city in the background. So from the ground, it looked pretty big, but next up, no, surely not. Surely a man like me, a very educated man like me, could not have just looked at an Enderman. And then I was chased inside. It brought me great joy to beat up this Enderman, and he chased me up the stairs. I killed the shulker, and yeah, definitely didn't die. I just left all my stuff here, and XP. So I was just coming back to get it back. So then I put back on my dragon head and got back to exploring the no, not. So I return to the end city after an untimely death and take shelter in this building because I'm running away from something very scary, very spooky, very spooky. This Enderman took my lunch money, and I really wanted it back, except I couldn't, and not yet. So I proceeded to die and fall down here and get killed by another Enderman, and back at spawn where I started. I was very sad, a very sad man, alone in another planet. So being the very sad man that I was, I decided to make my way back to the end city. So I went through this pink biome and made it to this blue biome, and then I thought it would be a good idea to jump off here, so I did a little dance to prepare myself. And then I jumped and landed with 2 hearts. I was actually alive. I thought I was pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, I am, but I might have gotten a little bit over my head here. So later at the end city, I was battling this shulker at half a heart. Don't ask how I got to half a heart. And I was dodging this shulker and hitting all his balls, so I was pretty happy. So I went inside and picked up my stuff real quick. Ate a raw fish and went outside. Got slapped by the shulker again and started floating up here. And thought I was safe up here, so I ate another fish and then saw a shulker thing coming around the corner. But at this time, didn't notice it, so I just kind of turned around and died. So back at spawn, but I mean, I'm just gonna save you the process of getting back to the end city. I've done it about 10 times. So after the short trek back to the end city, I finally made it. Got my lucky dragon head back, and being the Giga Chad that I am, I beat this slime up with my bare hands. So after missing a couple shots on the shulker, I killed it and took its shell. I was a very happy man, and I made my way this way because I was done with that end city because there was no chests in it. Very disappointed. I then pillared up using light source and non-light source blocks. I don't really know what I thought would come of this. I thought that maybe later I would marvel at how artistic I was. So after the short walk from the end city, I was actually home. and I decided to make my first shulker box, and I was very proud of myself. Didn't really do much with it yet. Kind of just threw all the random stuff in my inventory in it. I then grabbed a piece of endstone and placed it down to assert my dominance and lay claim to this area. I then started planting some of these berries, which would keep me fed. So I figured out that the berries actually kind of blended in with the pink ground around it, so I decided to place these green border walls to kind of help myself determine where the berries actually were. It looked horrendous, but it helped me, so I mean, I did what I had to do. So I made my way towards this purple-looking biome and almost fell into the void. Then I stole some potions from this broken end ship nearby. Once I got to the purple biome, I stole some chorus fruit and headed further into the biome. I then saw this house in the distance and ran towards it. I realized I'd switched biomes and was in a new, darker biome. I then ran towards the house and was actually damaged by some plants, which was kind of surprising and a bit spooky. I then spent a while being confused about how to actually get up into this house. I then found this guy who was blended in, and I was real happy knowing these things were lurking around. So I then did a little bit of towering and jumped inside of the house. I was actually pretty disappointed to realize it wasn't really anything special. It was kind of like the treehouse, just a couple more books and some more empty chests and a couple blocks I hadn't seen before. I then took some of the new wood that I found outside and turned hitboxes on because these black things were pretty scary. I then started bridging across the void to another island I saw a bit away and pillared up to it. I then went on a bit of a rampage and started killing these monsters, and I saw a couple of them on my bridge, and so I jumped down, and guess what? All of my progress there lost, so yeah, dead again. Back at spawn, only lost some stone tools. I did sadly lose those healing potions, but I mean, I wasn't too devastated. I just made some more stone tools and made a vow to never die again. Maybe actually one more time. Yeah, I looked at this guy. You know how I am. The Enderman's head is like a magnet. But wait. I took shelter in this. Did I fool you? Yes, I did. Because I actually killed these Endermen, and I was very proud of myself. They couldn't hit back, but it seemed like a fair fight. And I bet you won't guess what happened next. I thought I was safe running this way, but I was attacked by a pack of Endermen. I was very sad. I respawned. I got my stuff back pretty easily and watched my berries grow. I then decided that I needed better gear in order to survive these Enderman attacks, so I decided to go out looking for an end city. I decided to go this way because it was kind of the opposite way I went before, and so I kind of just hugged the wall and hoped for the best. So I got a little bit more wood, and then accidentally stumbled upon this ruined thing in the blue biome. Didn't know what it was, so I didn't really mess with it. So I was back in the blue biome and thought I'd get some of these Instamine blocks because I thought I'd need them for bridging later. I then thought I was a bird and jumped off of this tree and survived with 2 hearts. I was pretty proud of myself, so I ate some food. But then I was followed by a slime, and I was dead again, back at spawn. And so I made it my goal right now to go and get my stuff back. And so I got some berries and reached the blue biome. And I knew I was close because I saw these blocks I'd mined earlier. And I remember this is the tree I thought I was a bird onto. And I was actually pretty surprised that this Enderman didn't get angry at me, because that's kind of how it seems to go around me. So I remember this edge, and I walked towards it. I then found my stuff, except I was missing my axe. I actually wasn't too bothered by this, because it was only stone. I then got surprise attacked by this slime, and was being chased by an Enderman, like usual. And I hit this Enderman, and died. Back at spawn, except I knew exactly where I died now, so it was pretty easy to get back. I got my stuff, and was on my way. Then, while I was walking on my way to an end city, I actually found this treehouse. I thought it looked pretty cool, so I went inside. I didn't find much. I kind of just mined some bookshelves inside. And then once I left it, I walked outside and actually found this end city and started pillaring up to it, because it looked like this one actually might have had some chests inside. So once I got to the top, I was actually correct, and I opened this chest and found a new iron sword and some couple bits of iron. And then using my first bits of iron, I crafted a shield. After exploring the end city a bit further and killing some chokers, I found this really good chest. So some gold ingots, some diamonds, and even a diamond pickaxe. However, I was slightly disappointed because it didn't have efficiency on it, and endstone actually took a really long time to break compared to other stones in the game. I then decided to pillar up really high and do some makeshift speed bridging. Probably shouldn't have done this because it was pretty dangerous. I then decided to run in here and take some loot. I got some boots and then ran back out. I then decided to go back in for the second chest and the remainder of the first chest. So I ran back in, took the gold from the first chest, and got some gold from the second chest. I also got some decent boots and then left. And after exploring this end city a little bit more, I found this chest room with a chest full of swords. Some of them were good, some of them were bad, and then I decided to ender pearl out because I was done with this end city. Shortly after leaving this end city, I found this treehouse, so I just went inside and took the bookshelves. I then walked outside and found this dragon head and decided to take it. I then continued on the voyage home and actually got there in one piece. I then couldn't really figure out how to use this endstone smelter, so I just kind of gave up. After storing away my newly found riches, I headed over to the black biome to check on my shadowberries to see if they were growing. A couple of them had grown, and they actually dropped a seed, so I was able to replant. I then mined some chorus flowers because I thought the animation was pretty cool. I then started clearing out some plants to start on my little house. I then learned that I could actually till these pink blocks, and I was pretty surprised, but I kind of just broke them for now. So then I actually started work on the house and planned out the frame using these pink wood blocks. I then used some trapdoors to give it a more hobbit hole feel, and then dug out a doorway. And then the front was done, and I thought it was looking pretty good. I then started digging out the inside of the house, and I knew this would be a lengthy task. I then started placing in the floor with this purple wood I found in the chorus biome. So I got one of these light source blocks and placed it inside the house, and I thought it looked pretty cool. I then made a smart investment with my iron and made some shears. I then went and harvested some leaves, and then I placed some leaves around my hobbit hole. I then mined some endstone for a path and placed in some wooden planks. I then went to the chorus forest to take some leaves. I then mixed in some purple leaves with the pink leaves to add some variation in the texture. I thought it looked pretty cool. I then added some doorways into the hobbit hole to make it more hobbit hole-like. I then remembered it had been a while since my last Enderman death, and I was kind of on edge because I knew it would happen at some point. I then decided to bring some chests in because my storage was getting a bit full outside, and then I tried out this new floor texture. Didn't really like it, so I kind of just broke it. I then sorted out my chests because I like being organized. I then headed out into the purple biome because it had been a while since I looked for another end city, and I wanted some more good stuff. So I went across this bridge again, and then I was actually attacked by a phantom. I didn't really know these could spawn, and I was pretty surprised, but I killed it with relative ease. And I bridged pretty slowly across the end void because I'd learned my lesson. And then after not too long, I found another end city. I then killed the shulker guarding the door and actually got another shell. I then pillared up to this chest room and actually got some decent stuff from this chest. I got some diamonds and a couple tools. I then towered up to another chest room and actually got some decent armor from the chests. I then had the idea to bridge all the way around the ship so I didn't get shot off by shulkers, and it actually worked. So once I got inside, I killed the shulker guarding the chest and the elytra, after a little bit of struggle, and got my first elytra, and also the achievement Sky's the Limit, and some decent loot from the chest beside it. I then started my first flight from the top of the end ship and flew pretty far through this black biome I came through. And after doing a lot of pillaring and flying, I finally made it back to 0-0 and also my house. I then put up all the stuff I got from the end cities. I then chopped down some more wood because my house wasn't quite finished yet. I then started killing some endermen because they didn't have rights. This sword gave me power I never had before, and instead of being killed by the endermen, I was actually killing them. I then found this new biome that kind of looked like the normal end, and it gave me perspective on how different this mod was. Except I yearned for more loot, so I decided to go and find some more end cities. And so I pillared across the void and found a new biome with some white wood in it. I then chopped a lot of the wood from this tree for the future. And after walking a little bit further, I found this new biome with a bunch of cool blocks in it. So I mined a little bit to bring back as a souvenir. I found another blue biome further out, and like its twin, by me, it also had an end city in it. This one sadly only had one chest room, so I took the stuff inside. The loot was decent, not too great, and then I left. And so pretty close to the blue biome, there was a red biome with a huge end city in it, probably one of the biggest I'd ever seen. Then I took a long time to kill this shulker, but it was worth the wait. I actually got a shell from it. I then went up to the chest room and got some iron from this chest, which was actually pretty useful. And so I flew over to this ship and took another elytra and the loot inside. Then after getting another elytra, I flew gracefully down to the ground. And once I got to the ground, I started crafting some shulker boxes to store all the stuff in my inventory, because it was getting pretty full. After a little bit of running around, I found a red slime, which looked kind of weird, so I killed it. And then I finally crafted a bucket and picked up some water. And after walking for not too long, I found another end city. I then pillared up with these blue blocks and stole some iron stuff from this chest. And then after making it to the top of this big shulker room, I got some more diamonds, emeralds, gold, and some other useful things. And I pillared up and flew to the end ship and stole my third elytra. I then put all the stuff I found from the end cities in this one shulker box, and I realized I was very rich. Now I wasted some more durability on my elytra by flying around this red biome. And then I found one of the rarest biomes in this mod pack, the crystal biome. I saw it from a distance and got really happy, and immediately I wanted to fly towards it. And once I flew over there, I stole a lot of the crystals. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot, like stacks upon stacks of them. On my way back to 00, I found this little library thing and decided to steal the books, but not do much else with it. I then found this pillar and marveled at how artistic I was. Then, after the long voyage, I was back at home. After putting all my good stuff in this chest, I realized how much richer I was than I had thought. I then was pretty confused and worried about what I would put in these side compartments when the time came. I then mined out this back wall because it was looking kind of stupid just sitting there, and so I decided it needed to go. I then filled it with the pink barrels and I thought it looked pretty cool. And finally then completed the wall of furnaces. I then couldn't figure out what to put in the side compartment, so I just put this brick looking block. And then I was done with the base and I thought it looked pretty cool. But I had one last thing I wanted to do. I wanted to make a spear and go kill as many animals as I could. It did way less damage than I expected, but still. And in traditional fashion, while trying to record the outro, I was attacked by an enderman and died. I was actually pretty embarrassed with this one because I had full diamond armor and could have prevented it pretty easily. And well, this is where I say goodbye. So thank you for watching, like and subscribe, comment on what I should do next, and thank you for watching. See ya. And click these 2 videos. Oh wait, I don't have 2 videos. You just walked the prank.